which a lot of you did, a whole bunch of you did, you would know that we did the post-game show. And now we're back for Terrible Towel Tuesday. Some of y'all may have just seen me take off my headphones, and that should give you a clue that I must have already been talking to somebody. So guess what? Blog Talk Radio is actually working for us tonight, and we found a way to get Kenyon and Tony on. So we're going to bring them on in just a moment. I'll tell you guys the same way I told them. Y'all heard me talk last night for over an hour. So like I said on the show last night, I want to get some different opinions. You guys like to hear from Tony and you like to hear from Kenyon, so I'll let them lead the way in that regard. And then we'll bring in some phone calls. Again, I don't know how long we will go tonight. Again, I try to keep it at about an hour. Got to try to do that for the, obviously because, I've already told you guys the story and the spill, but we'll see how it goes. We'll try to get phone calls in. We'll try to, dedicate a good amount of time, or maybe we'll mix in the phone calls in between time. We'll just see how the flow of everything is going. But real quick, man, let me stop talking and let's do the quick intro. Always like to give a shout out to the people who come in first and foremost, like who are waiting for the show to start. So what's up to Drama Sidell, 187, Kegels Bagel, Bill Megatron, Joseph Delavecchia, Jaya Devil, Rail Facts. Hello, Miss Lanisha, how you doing tonight? Rajon 39. Who else we got in there? Bill C117. Jason Winningham, who is area code 803. What's up to you, sir? Robert Washington. Mahir Ya Israel. I don't know if I'm saying that correct, or it might just be Israel or Yisrael. Forgive me on the pronunciation. Steve Williams, C. Antoine Hill. Who else we got really quick before we get started? Anybody else that I missed? Builder's Life. And we'll end it with, let's say, one more name. Solarverse 6. What's up? Oh, there's my man Ali Howard in the building as well, and Luis D. So what's up to you guys? So like I said, tonight what we're going to do, I'm just going to give you a quick small recap on one other thing I forgot to mention last night. But as far as the bulk of what we thought about the game, I'm going to let Kenyon and Tony handle that, and then we'll open it up to some calls. So one thing I forgot last night, and actually before I get to that, just kind of scanning over my thoughts again today. I didn't get a chance to rewatch the game. I wanted to. Kenyon did, so he should have a lot to talk about there. But, like I told Kenyon and Tony, man, it's been a little tough with scheduling. I have a 6-year-old who's about to be 7 later this month. He's in first grade virtual school. We're both here at home. I don't have the same amount of time that I can sneak away during the day, so I didn't get a chance to rewatch the game yet. We obviously don't have all 22 yet. That would be available tomorrow, so we can't, do what we normally do on Terrible Towel. So what I just want to talk about really quick, though, I did kind of notice a couple things that we mentioned last night, but just to mention them again. Benny Snell, man, I watched his highlights over again. He got some pop with him. Especially that play down the left side when he put the little hesitation on Jabril Peppers and was able to get around the edge. Benny Snell showed a little speed right there. Now, he's not a blazer, but what I'm saying, still of football, I could take that. I'll take that from Benny Snell. Quick enough, hit the hole and go. I really liked what I saw there. Man, everybody across the line looked good. When I kind of scanned at some of the plays, even guys that you didn't hear that name that much. Like some people would say, oh, I didn't hear a lot about Cam Hayward. But again, just like T.J. Watt said earlier, in his post-game conference, he said it got to a point in the run game where everybody was just meeting at the running back. You get there, and there's already 2 or 3 guys there. Everybody was showing up. Guys like Alualu was showing up. Tua showed up. Bud Dupree, all of them. T.J., everybody. Vince Williams, I don't know if I talked about him a lot last night. Played a really good brand, man, a brand of football. Real good run defense. I didn't get a chance to re-look at the play with Minka. And, I know there was some question with whether it was Minka's fault or Steven Nelson's fault. Kenyon got a chance to look at that, so I'm sure he's going to break that down as well. So I'm looking forward for you guys to hear what he said, because I already know. Only other thing, man, let me say this real quick, because if I keep going, I'll find myself talking too much. The thing I forgot to talk about last night. I hate to piss everybody off, but we got to do it. What is the one thing that we all talk about with Mike Tomlin? and staff, right? Y'all know that I love Mike Tomlin. I think he's a good coach. Yes, I'll go as far as saying I do love Mike Tomlin. The same way I love Bill Cowher. They both have their own issues that you would disagree with. But I like what Mike Tomlin has been for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the lead man for the organization. I think he is the right man for the job. But what do I not like about him? Time management. And I hate to bring this to everybody's attention because I noticed it. I also discussed it with Floyd, cousin Floyd, in case Floyd is in here. Floyd pointed it out to, as well to me in a text, and I was like, man, yep, you're absolutely right. I noticed that, but I wasn't 100% sure because I remember when right before it happened, I was looking at the clock, and I remember looking back up and saying, how is it a 2-minute warning so fast? So case in point, the play where we stopped Saquon Barkley, right, leading up to the 2-minute warning, we tackled him for a loss. It was 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, or right about 2:39. We got timeouts. We allowed the clock to tick all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Why do we continue to do this? Especially a night like last night when you're probably going to get an opportunity to get the ball back. Now, it didn't hurt us. Okay, it didn't come back to haunt us because we still had the 2-minute drive. Ben still got in the end zone. Great, but you have to point these things out because that could have hurt us. It could have put us in a more compromising position. And there's no way that you're going to say that you envisioned that we would get the ball back when we did and Ben would take that much off the clock. No, you didn't. You didn't assume that. So I got to look at that and say, come on, man, not again. Why do we continue to have these issues with clock management? I don't understand it. Now, it's funny that I say that today after, what the Broncos did and Fangio and those guys. Boy, wow. As far as clock management, it's funny that I'm critiquing Tomlin after seeing that debacle. But still, you cannot not miss those opportunities, man. Luckily, it didn't come back to haunt us. But again, if you guys happen to look at the game again, go back and look at the players right around the 2-minute, 39-second mark. From that point, when we stopped Saquon Barkley again for a loss, we just allowed the clock to tick all the way down to the 2-minute warning instead of burning a timeout. Even if you don't want to use them all, even if you got to use 2 of them, you're still going to get the 2-minute warning and one in your pocket. More than enough time. So I had to point that out. Got to point that out. But all right, guys, I'm pretty much done talking other than, being in a group format. So let me get Tony and Kenyon on, and I will let you guys have edits. So let me make sure they can hear me. 1 second. All right, Kenyon and Tony, confirm again that you can still hear me.
Yes, I can. Good nation.
Good. All right, chat. We're going to wait about 20 seconds because it's a delay. Can you guys confirm that you were able to hear Kenyon and Tony? Before I get them start talking, let's make sure everything is correct. I left the browser volume on, so y'all should have heard them. So as soon as I get that confirmation, I'm going to let them take it away. Now we get to really see how long the delay is. Nobody's commented yet. All right, there it is. They said yes, sir. Oh, I didn't even notice. They said something about McFarland passed concussion protocol. I didn't even know he was in the protocol. I missed that. Yeesh. All right, cool. Let's do it. So, all right, guys, again, quick format update for you guys that are familiar or unfamiliar. Usually what we do on Terrible Towel Tuesday is I show some footage. I give a small minor recap of the prior game because the full recap usually comes in the post game. And then we talk about the upcoming opponent. But since we're in week 1, we don't have any footage to show now because we played on Monday. So I'm going to let Kenyon and Tony give you guys their impressions or thoughts overall about the game so you can hear their voices instead of reading their text. And then we'll take a few phone calls, and then we should be done. So, all right, guys, the floor is yours. So whoever wants to start first, welcome, good brothers. What y'all want to? What y'all want to attack first, man? How y'all feel about the game?
Well, what I'll do is I'll start it out. Just a few things that I saw. Just looking at the line, just looking at the offensive line. I mean, kind of suspect out there. I mean, I know we won and everything. I know everybody is happy. The line was with a lot of the injuries, coming into the game. We're going to need the Castro to make a speedy recovery, and we're going to have to bring our A game, for the next couple of weeks because we play some very tough opponents. I mean, you're talking about Denver next week, even though they don't have Von Miller and Chubb, but they play a good, they play good football. You're looking at the Texans, you're talking about the Tennessee Titans, the Eagles, the Cleveland Browns. I mean, and then closing it out with the Ravens before the bye. I mean, it's not going to get easy. Our offensive line, they're going to have to come to play. I'll start out with that. But, from what I saw was a very good game. I can't take anything from it. What I'm doing is I'm taking one game at a time. I'm excited, but I'm kind of tempering that excitement because, I mean, really when you really look at the Giants defense, I mean, they were attacking, the Giants defense, offensive line, pardon me, we was attacking Barkley. And, when you look at their offensive line, you're talking about, I know one of the offensive linemen that came from New England, I can't think of his name, he said he wasn't playing for the season, so they had problems on their offensive line. So in a sense, we kind of was, when you really look at it, I mean, a couple of new guys on that line, we was kind of supposed to do what we were doing. Not saying that, our defense is not like, because our defense is like, they studs out there. So I'm just looking at that, so I'm just looking at it like one game at a time, and from that place, if that's one of the things I looked at, just to get it all out of the way, brother, because Kenyon, I know he's going to bring him more in depth because we looked at the game again, so he saw some things. I saw Tomlin say today from last night, he was talking about that he left his corners open. So a lot of people look at, we know that they shouldn't have gotten burnt like that. We know that, but every corner when you leaving them man on man like that, that's going to happen. They was attacking that line, so they left them open like that. So that's going to happen sometimes. And then you see, Ben was a little rusty, but as you can see, we have the weapons, and if the other defense attack our line, I'm hoping that Ben is able to get that ball out a little quick like Daniel Jones did. And I want to say this: Daniel Jones is a heck of a quarterback. I'm not going to take anything from him because that was a lot of pressure. Seeing Watt, seeing all of those guys come at you, and he made some nice passes last night. You can see, except for that one pass that he should have threw it away, and I'm glad that he didn't throw it away because Cam Hayward got the interception, but
yeah,
he didn't seem that he got rattled a whole lot. He really played. He got the ball out of his hand. He threw some nice passes out there, and then I like, lastly, I like the different packages they put together on the defense. They brought, wow, they brought Highsmith in there. Ola was in there. Lane was in there. They was bringing different looks, in different packages, and I'm excited about them. But I just want to see them do it, every week, and I think that they will. Our defense is our defense, but you can see a lot of speed, on our defense and stuff. So, I'm kind of happy about that. I'm just, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be like super excited because, know how it is sometimes, this week. And then one thing, okay, Kenyon and Sim, Who is the guy I worry about the most on the field?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Who is the guy I worry about? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I worry about one guy and one guy only on the field. And we could get all excited because, we got weapons. I mean, those are some weapons on that field. Boy, I'm telling you, if we can get it together, we'll be okay. So as far as that is concerned, that's what I saw, from what I got from the game. And also the running back. Our boy Snell, he played last night. Really kind of ball. He only had that one fumble, but people was ready to jump on Benny Snell. But how many times last year that Connor games that we should have won, like that San Francisco 49ers game that Connor fumbled in? See, nobody don't want to remember that. Or he fumbled in the Ravens game. Okay, so let's talk about that too before you start. And another thing, and I'm going to let Kenyon, have the floor, but James Conner is always hurt all the time. I called it. I told my son, my youngest son, how passionate he gets.
Yeah.
And he said, Dad, you called it. He said, man, that guy always getting hurt. And it's the game of football. We play in the physical division. We're a physical football team against the run. And so things like that are going to happen. But he can't get mad when people start seeing that every time you turn around, brother, it's always an injury. It's always, and you're going to get nicked, but every year. Come on, man. So.
Yeah, man. It's sad, too, because I love his story.
Right there. That's my steal.
Yeah, man. And real quick, before Kenyon comes on, just to comment on James Conner, man. I think I said it last night. I love his story. It's tough. Understanding where he came from and what it means to him to be able to do what he does. But unfortunately, some players just have that bug, man. And at the end of the day, it's a business. You gotta go with who your best ability is. Your availability. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Kenyon, man, what you got for us? And actually, in a part of your speaking, Kenyon, whenever you get to it, and we're gonna ask Tony too when we get back to Tony. We want to give a shout out really quick to Shadow Slayer, man, for his donation. But he had a question, so if you can work this in, he wants to know, how do we feel about the running back situation going into Denver? So if Connor is unable to go. But go ahead, man, whatever you want to start at, brother.
Okay, well, I'll address that first. I feel great, feel fine. That basically means that you would have to put probably activate Anthony McFarland. I'm comfortable with Benny Snell toting the rock, sprinkle in a little Jalen Samuels, and then have McFarland as your emergency or third back, whatever. And it's just going to take a minute for McFarland to get acclimated to the system, but I'm excited about his prospects in the future. So for me, I'm okay. To me, it's just a foreshadowing of what 2021 will look like. Because I just think James Conner. Well, I agree with you, Sam. I like his story. I like how he came back. He has heart. But if you're injury prone is injury prone. It is what it is. So it's he can't stay healthy. I was excited watching him, watching all his IG posts, and he was, looking buff and, looking swole. But in the back of my mind, I was saying that really doesn't matter if he can't stay on the field. And
he should have swole them ankles. Nah, let me stop. I'm being mean, man. He put all that attention in that big back.
Man.
What about them big ankles, though? Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just playing.
Lifting all those weights, and your ankles are brittle. It don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's. I just think that I like Snell. I always thought he was a sleeper pick, and always thought he fit us. When he came out, And one thing I love about him is that he made the transformation where he came into last year. He was heavier. I think he's 213 right now, and you can see the 213. And him being 213, he's faster. He got a little bit more pop. And what I like about him better than Connor is that he's really decisive when he runs, and I really like that about him. Like, he knows where he wants to go. You know what I mean? He knows when to bounce. Last year he couldn't bounce, but this year he can a little bit. But he'll hit that hole if he has to. And he's always moving forward, and I like that about him. So I'm comfortable with where they are as far as the running back go. And if Connor comes back, great. He can come back and put him back in the mix, and it just makes us stronger. But I just don't think Connor will be back in 2021. So that would be my thoughts.
Can I ask you, Kenya, can I ask you a quick question? What do you think about, and you can continue to go in, into what you're going into, and I feel the same way how you felt about Benny Snell. How do you feel about Derek Watt? Because they went with a few I formations, and I mean, maybe I'm not saying maybe it's going to work like later on, but it's just, I don't know. How do you feel about Watt's contribution as a fullback? I mean, I don't know.
Well, just with the Steelers, it's weird because the Steelers run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, which takes Derek Watt off the field. And I don't think Pittsburgh I don't think Pittsburgh signed him to be primarily a fullback. I think his attraction was his special teams ability, because he's so great on special teams. But you sprinkle him in at fullback, he's a better pass catcher than our previous fullback, and I think he can block well enough. So I think his role, he knows what his role is, and I think that's very important for what Pittsburgh is trying to do. Pittsburgh runs so many spread sets that they don't use the fullback like that. They don't run power like that a lot unless they're trying to kill the clock. So it's game one. Game one, you can only take so much out of game one. I'm just tripping off of Sim bobbing his head as I'm looking at the screen. It's hilarious. But it's you should never dance to your own beats. But I'm just playing with you. But
that's when you know they all right.
But yeah, I think that I like his role, and we have to see how it plays out, especially when it gets like later in the season when Pittsburgh has to run the ball like a lot. You know what I mean? That's when we'll kind of know.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I really like for game one, he didn't do anything bad because I would have pointed it out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like he did okay because I would have pointed that out. So
I saw him a lot on special teams. That 44 was flashing. I will say that.
Yeah, he was flashing.
Yeah,
he was flashing. So I was cool with it. I was cool with what he did. But that'll be my. I guess going there, I can go into what I really saw in the game. I'll rewatch the game. On the play where we gave up the first touchdown, where Nelson gets beat by the post, that's a coverage that Pittsburgh has used a lot over the last couple of years. And what happens is,
and we've gotten beat on it a lot too.
Right, and we've gotten beat on it a lot. Right, it's not all Minka's fault on that play because Minka steps up. But here's the problem: Joe Hayden is supposed to replace Minka.
Yeah. So
if you watch the play, Joe Hayden starts to run back when Minka steps up. But the play action was a good play action. It was a better throw. And if you watch the play, Joe Hayden is the one that's tackling him once he gets past Nelson. You see it in the end zone. He's the one tackling. So Joe Hayden was supposed to replace Minka as the safety in that. I think it's a dime coverage. So he's supposed to replace him. He didn't get back there in time, and they got beat. So it's not all Minka. Minka had to step up because of the Ingram coming underneath. So he had to step up. So it's not all Minka's fault. He really gets no blame. It's really Joe Hayden having to be able to replace him, and he didn't get there in time. So that was that play. As far as what I saw during the game, look, I ain't calling him his government name. But 48 was the best defensive player on the field.
But
it's not close. I'll let y'all call. I'll let y'all call him his name, and y'all can do that to your heart's desire. Do whatever you want to do, but I ain't doing it. But he was disruptive. He did everything he was supposed to do. He was dominant. I mean, the only critique I have on him is he missed a sack, but that was it. I mean, he was so much in the backfield. Actually, all the front seven was so much in the backfield. They were determined not to let Saquon beat them, and they
Daniel Jones
accomplished
against
that goal.
Sturdy Steeler defense very soon.
That defense is scary if they can play like that the whole year. I mean, Sim was asking me, why didn't we see Sean Davis? And I'm saying to myself, I don't know if he can get a spot. Because when they go on the dime, they have Hilton and they have Sutton. And Sutton was dropping back playing the free safety. So I don't know where Sean Davis plays. If they're going to roll with that. Because I guess Pittsburgh is looking at it like it's coverage. And Sutton is the better cover guy.
Yeah. Very true.
And so I guess maybe if Sean Davis can work his way into the rotation at some point, I assume he will. Maybe he'll get in there. But he was on special teams. I saw him on special teams a lot. And so as far as that goes, I thought the defense played well. I mean, it's game one. I don't take too much from game one. I don't take a lot from the game, but it's kind of like I wanted to see Russ come off the bench. I mean, I guess I could critique Ben, but not really. I mean, he missed throws in the beginning, but you can see he was rusty and probably nervous. You know what I mean? Especially early in the game, he was nervous. And I think once he made that throw to Ebron, you know what I mean? I think he was kind of cool, you know what I mean, after that. So, once he took the hit, I think he needed to get hit because he hadn't got hit in like, a year and a half or almost a year.
Yeah, got to feel that contact, man.
So, yeah, he had to feel that contact. So, it's kind of, one of those things where I was, if he can give us 20 points a game, we will win a lot of games. You know what I mean? If he can do that, you know what I mean? I don't have too many worries. I will address the Terrell Edmonds bashing, which I don't know why you keep bashing the guy who didn't do anything wrong yesterday. And even on particular plays where you say he got beat by a tight end, I will refer you to the play. It was a 3rd and 4. Pittsburgh blitzed. They were playing man-to-man. The tight end did a delay. He did a delay route. He blocked and then he delayed route out. If the blitz doesn't get there, I don't care how fast Terrell Edmonds is. He's not getting that tight end. That's what happened on the play. He made the tackle, and that was it. Terrell Edmonds is not a playmaker. I've given up on the theory that he's going to get interceptions and stuff. He's not. I don't think he's going to do that. But what he will do, he'll be solid. He'll be like Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark didn't get a lot of interceptions. He was just solid. That's basically what he is. That's how I look at him. So, I don't expect too much from him. Sean Davis, if you want to have a real conversation, Sean Davis is worse in coverage. Worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys don't have I don't know if you have a long memory, but you do remember the Patriots game, right? Where Sean Davis got burnt 5 consecutive times on the field?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So, my expectations of Edmonds isn't, well, he needs to be like Minka. They're two different players. They're two different positions. They have two different responsibilities. And if you watch the game, Terrell Edmonds was in the box a lot, making plays, disrupting. Watch the game. He's making plays, disrupting in the backfield. A lot. He's doing it a lot. I rewatched the game. I was made a point to watch it. I was like, let me see if he's doing anything. He was making plays.
2-minute warning.
But he's not like, a great cover guy. Vince Williams is not a great cover guy. They had Robert Spillane in the game for the drive, the 19-play drive. Spillane was in the drive. He came in the drive at 8:54. He stayed in the game for the whole drive.
Yeah, and that 52 that they was running, down there. I was like, ooh. And like Kenya said, we've done that before, but it's just interesting to see the personnel that was out there, Spillane out there. But I forget that was a 19-play drive. So I saw dudes was sucking air out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice it. Sim sent the picture, a screenshot of showing Spillane when they were at the goal line or close to the goal in the red zone. And then when I was watching the game, I just saw Spillane come in the game. It was right after, I think Vince Williams got, somebody caught a pass on Vince Williams, and then you saw Vince Williams go out, and then Spillane came in. So at that moment, I said, okay, let me see how long he stays in there. But he was in there for the whole time. He made the play. He pushed Jones out of bounds. He made another play. I was like, that's kind of crazy. So it really says more about Allen and UG3 that they weren't comfortable putting them in those scenarios this early in the season. So because if you look at the depth chart, Spillane is he's the fifth inside linebacker according to the depth chart. So, you know, I look forward to seeing Allen and looking forward to see if UG3 who battles that out and who gets snaps for that in the future. But I mean, as far as anything else, I mean, Juju did well. I hope this will. I don't even think it's not going to quiet people from how they feel about Juju, but you do see the difference when he does have Ben and when he doesn't have Ben. It's just different. Ben is comfortable with him, and he'll throw him the ball. And the thing I like about Juju is you don't have to give him the ball. You don't have to feed him. You don't have to A/B him. I don't want to coin that as a term, but you don't. You don't have to A/B him. You know what I mean? Throwing in double coverage and all that stuff with all the weapons you got. Deontay Johnson had an up and down night. In the beginning, you would have said it'd been all the way down, but he kind of he has to work on that. His ball security. His ball security is the issue. It's just an issue. I mean, because I could just see him in a game make a great play against the Ravens or somebody else, and he starts running and his hand and his arm is all free, and somebody just pokes the ball away. You can just see that. I can see that happen.
It was moments of that last night where it was a play where he got loose and he had the ball on the inside, and I was like, no. And one of the Giants guys came, but he didn't punch it out. But yeah, man, got to work on that.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say as far as that goes, he's but his talent, you can't deny his talent.
Yeah.
As far as Claypool had 2 receptions, had the 1 play, but Claypool, you know, he's gonna be a monster at some point. I mean, he already has the toe tap, and he's gonna be a monster at some point. I was really watching to see if they lined him up outside, because in the beginning of the game he was in the slot, and I was interested to see him play on the outside, and he was beating press. So that to me that was a positive sign. Like, okay, so Ben might start to target him going down the field, and that body is, you know, and that body and that speed, and if he could transition that and put it all together. I like what Claypool could do. Look, you got to give it up for Washington. Washington showed heart and grit. Man. He's country strong.
Country strong. Man.
And he made that play was nice. Look, we have weapons, and we didn't really get Ebron really involved. He only had 1 reception. You know what I mean? We really didn't get Ebron involved. So, look, even Vance. I mean, you know, Vance had a catch, but, you know, if we could just put it all together, look, if he can get us 20 to 25 points, I'm telling you, that, you know, I don't predict records, but we'll have a chance to win a lot of games. And so I'm not worried about the offense. I think, to me, will get progressively better, because I think the best defense that they'll play all year is in practice. So to me, they'll get better as the season progresses. That's my quick analysis of what I saw on the game. So that's pretty much it. There's nothing. If there's anything else, questions y'all have, you can always throw them at me. You know, we can answer them. But that's what I got from game 1. I didn't see any flaws, or just the fact that Connor is injury prone. But is that surprising? Is this surprising?
No,
unfortunately not, man.
And I like what I saw from Highsmith. Look, I like what I saw from Ola.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Ola said, Don't throw me on the 4th spot of the depth chart just yet. Ola was out there doing his thing, man.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
And I like how we
played
moved
well.
them around a lot too. Cause my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I like how
Oh no, go.
there was times that we blitz Ola up the middle, and there was plays we've seen this before, but it was plays I noticed where TJ was standing in the middle of, like he was standing pretty much behind Cam Hayward. I was like, yo, that's I love stuff like that. And that's one thing that I used to say. I hate to say it, but one thing I used to give Belichick credit for with the Patriots defense, a lot of times you don't know who's coming. And LeBeau, Dick LeBeau used to do that from time to time. So I'm glad to see that we're getting back to moving guys around or even just lining guys up in different spots. Love it, man. We got to keep that going.
Yeah. I would say I thought Ola played well. I was happy to see Highsmith get some snaps. And what I like about what they're doing with this defense is they had Ola and Highsmith playing both linebacker positions to give TJ and 48 a breather in certain situations. And I like that. I like that. It keeps the rotation. It keeps them fresh. You know what I'm saying? It keeps them always fresh. And even Isaiah Buggs came in and was playing, nickel in some situations, which I found interesting. Tyson Alualu played well.
That's who I was going to say.
Yeah, Tyson Alualu played well. So for me, overall, the defense played well. Except for we do have to work on those 3rd and long situations when we drop in the cover 3 and we play zone. And if the rush doesn't get there, you saw what happened. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah, man, nightmares of New Orleans. Don't say it again,
man. Yeah.
Lord have mercy,
Butler,
man.
Keith Butler, the difference between him and LeBeau, which is kind of obvious, is that Keith Butler will play man. He will play man a lot.
Yeah.
LeBeau didn't like playing man at all, and Butler does. So it's one of those things where, look, Butler has no more excuses. He has immense talent on that side, and he needs to utilize that talent that he had. Everybody played well. T.J. Watt with the IQ showing you he could, with the pickoff and dropping into coverage, kind of reminded me of a diet version of James Harrison. You know what I mean? He just didn't run it back. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, 48 was just was playing at an all-pro level, and you just got to give it up. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if he plays well the whole season, I'll call him his real name. The beauty for me is this: if I call him his real name at the end of the season, it will be the last time I have to call him that, because he ain't coming back. So I'll have to only do it one more time.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So either way it goes, I'm gonna win in the situation. I'm sorry.
Wow.
But other than that, it's like it's one of those. I have no ill will towards any of what I saw yesterday. I agree with them on the Mike Tomlin thing, and I would have went there with him if I hadn't saw the Denver game. If I hadn't saw the Denver game at the end, I would have been
man.
correct. But Denver had 3 timeouts.
My goodness.
14, and they didn't call. So come on, man. So you got to be kidding me. So and I watched Denver, and I got a little early scouting on them, and they have injuries with AJ Boye being out.
Yeah.
He got injured yesterday, and of course Von Miller and their running back was the running back got hurt.
Oh, Lindsey. Yeah, they still got Gordon was out there
Yeah.
running a little something.
Yeah. Gordon was doing well.
Got to
So
be careful with Jerry Jeudy though. Jeudy, that move he put on old boy.
Oh.
Got to be careful with that speed. But yeah, I think we be all right.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy is
and he's no offense.
Yeah, Judy's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
The tight end, yeah,
So,
Fant. We'll be all right though. I think.
Fant too, yeah. So that's pretty much all I have from the game. But it's on y'all now.
Go ahead, Tony.
If I can add two people real quick, what's our boy Mike Hilton played a pretty good game. I want to leave him out.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
He was timing it too. And the thing
Yeah.
about it is, I like the way that our defense ran to the ball. I mean, if you looked at it, it was like everybody was at the ball. I mean, even though I know we were attacking the run, but everybody went to the ball. I like Bush, man. Bush, I gotta say this. Bush was out there. He was out there in coverage too. But man, did you see the hit he put on Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow. He tried to jump up in the air, and Bush said, "Hello, I'm here, big boy."
Yeah, man. Loved it. Love it. How you hold a team to negative
busting.
yards,
He was
man?
busting out there.
That's crazy. Negative. That's just.
No.
He did have 6 yards.
Sorry.
Yeah, 6 yards.
I
positive yards.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I apologize for cutting you off. Also, that's the old Steelers. Remember? We lead the league against the run. We run the ball, and we stop the run. I mean, that was some of what we used to do. And like you said, we're dealing with the first game. We'll see how we'll do midpoint in the season. But I don't see that changing at all. The way those boys right there playing today, oh my goodness. I mean, last night, I don't see it changing much. I don't see them, a lot of people are able to run on us, so yeah. But the old Steelers did the same thing. They shut the run down. They always struggle sometimes against the pass, but the run, now you wasn't doing much running on us.
Man, that is crazy. A crazy stat I just saw here, man. Jerry McCray just reminded me. I saw it last night and thought it was hilarious. But Ben Roethlisberger had more yards rushing than Saquon Barkley. That's nuts. That is nuts. But guys, I'm going to show this play real quick, man. I do have the condensed version, being that Kenya mentioned it. I'm going to pull it up on the screen really quick. I showed it while Kenya was talking, but I want to show it again. And then we'll grab the callers, man. And then after that, we'll just go to the chat. Oops, that's the wrong one there. Let me switch up you guys are getting a chance to see what Blog Talk look like. And don't be copying down nobody's phone numbers there either. I know some people is creepy like that. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. And matter of fact, I forgot about this. Let's go back another play. This was not a pass interference. Let's look at this real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to talk about this last night, man. That was good coverage by Hayden. And they called the PI. And what was that, 3rd and 12? See, that was another opportunity that, again, reminding us of New Orleans when Joe Hayden gets called for a PI on 3rd down.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad call.
Yeah, that was a horrible call. But all right, guys, let's take a look at this next play,
call.
man. And I know for Kenyon and Tony, it's probably lagging behind, but everybody who's watching, this is the play that Kenyon was talking about. We all know, Slayton touchdown. But when they flip it around here, we're going to see it from like the end zone view. And like I said, I illustrated it a little bit while Kenyon was talking, but I'll do it again the best I can here with the condensed version. Shout outs to the ESPN crew right there already doing the telestrator. But as you can see, circled right there, man, that's Minka. You got Joe Hayden on this side. Steven Nelson is over here. And like Kenyon said, we have seen this coverage before, and unfortunately, we've gotten beat on it a lot. But it has worked as well, where Joe Hayden will replace Minkah Fitzpatrick. Now, at first glance, I also wanted to know, live, I was like, yo, where was Minkah? And when they showed this replay, I didn't really see the whole perspective because, it happened quick. But now looking at it, Minkah does do what he's supposed to. So check it out. And I'm going to try to do my own, slow motion work here. Just pausing it. So Minkah, center man, right here. He's got to read. And again, I hate to always throw this out there, but I'm going to keep doing it. Madden people, y'all know when I give y'all the feedback about what free safety should do? Minkah is reading the first threat. Okay, he's not continuing to drift all the way through the stands. He's looking at his initial threat, and he's making a decision. Whether it's the right decision or not, things like ratings and all that should determine that. But even great guys like Minkah Fitzpatrick, every now and then, and again, he didn't do anything wrong here, but he made a decision, right? So you can clearly see, like Kenyon said, here comes Minkah. He's going to jump Ingram right here. So, you know, he's going to be the safety net there. But look on this side from this view. Look at how much space Nelson is ahead of Slayton. Here comes Joe Hayden to replace in the middle of the field. There are really no other routes here. So actually, again, Kenya noticed it right away. And now me seeing it in real time, this wasn't a bad call considering the amount of receivers that was out. There ain't no whole lot of receivers out there. So we actually got this covered pretty well. Look right here. Saquon is being taken by, let's see who was that. Is it, whoops, my bad. I went too far. Is that Hilton? No, that's Edmonds. All right, let's run it again. Edmonds is playing Saquon. Now look, we pretty much have the advantage here coverage-wise. You got your one-on-ones. But look at Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden got a lot of room to make up. Pressure didn't get there. Heck of a throw by Daniel Jones. And bang, bang, boogie. Touchdown. All right, now I'm going to rewind it one more time because, again, I want to show y'all. This used to happen to Artie Burns a lot too, by the way. Nelson is kind of caught looking in the backfield. And, again, I'm not a professional athlete, but even good guys can get beat, right? So this is not a shot at Nelson, but in the situation, the really good football players recognize what they have here. And what I mean by that, a Dion in his prime, he already know what this is. He done read, Dion was the type of dude that reads this whole field. He know this is man coverage. He ain't letting this dude run behind him like that. He's probably going to try to jump the inside. If anything, maybe you get beat to the outside, but the number one rule, I mean, most people would know in any coverage, especially when you got a single high, you can't get beat inside. Especially when Minka is now if Minka's staying back there, yeah. If you got Minka back here, right, to be your help, you can give a little inside position, if you think they're going deep, because then you can play that, the outside leverage so he can't get you over the top because you got help in here. But Nelson knows the play, meaning he should be able to tell that Minka is dropping. So now you got to get on your horse. You got to go. And unfortunately, that boy Slayton pretty fast. Look how much ground he made up that quick. And look at the throw.
Yeah.
Perfect throw by Daniel Jones. Here it is again. And we're looking at it from this angle. See? Put that little double move on him. Let me show it to y'all again, man. I wish I had the all-22 so we could really slow it down the way we want, because it's a little hard doing it this way, but we making it happen. All right, let's see when they flip it back around. Right here. This is Artie Burns like. Now, again, I'm not knocking him, but he just watching the quarterback. So, like I said, the great ones immediately just did not, like Richard Sherman in his heyday, that's man coverage. Because that's how Seattle would run their cover three, whatever. Anytime Richard Sherman was isolated, it's a man coverage situation. But Nelson is caught peeking in the backfield. My man stems it to the outside, cuts it back in, and he's toast. Look, and he pushes him out. Look at that. Nelson even pushes him inside. He's toast. Great play. Great play by the Giants, but I'm glad we were able to kind of
2-minute warning.
It wasn't necessarily Minka's fault, and I know in real time, and to the casual fan, even us that know football, the first thing you thought was, where was Minka? We know he's our center fielder, but there you have it. Great play, man. So I always like to show stuff like that, Kenyon and Tony, man, for especially, and I know Leonard is in here listening. I like to show things like that so even guys like Leonard can understand. Like, it ain't always what you thought. You can't immediately say, oh, he got so-and-so got beat. Sometimes you got to recognize the coverage, the quarterback making a great throw, the receiver making a great route. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. But next up, guys, let's take a few phone calls, man. See who we got in here. We got area code 651. We'll come to you first. After that, area code 803. And y'all know the routine, man. Keep it short, if you will. And I'm going to let Kenyon and Tony answer you guys' questions, man. Y'all don't get to talk to them a lot. So, special treat tonight. So, first up, area code 651. What you got for us?
What's up, Steve? How you doing, man?
Good, man. What's going on?
Not much. I was thinking, man, when we were talking about a few weeks ago about how Ben had lost touch on the ball when when his elbow was hurt. I saw a lot of touch last night. A lot of touch on the ball, man. Especially that pass to Claypool, and which he made a good catch and toe tap. But I think that elbow really bothered him for years, like you said, because a lot of those passes he threw last night would have been picked normally on those tight passes in there. So that was huge. Bud Dupree, man, I'm gonna miss him. That dude, man, his closing speed is crazy. Like he normally it seems like he's blitzing on a run blitz and just get to the quarterback. Hey, well, the running back didn't get, I guess I hit you then. But he chasing people down, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah,
and I noticed it before, but man, the D line, our front seven was all. I mean, true, the Giants' offensive line's not that good, but man, they went through that line all night. They played in the backfield all night long. If we could do that all season, that'll be great. Last thing I got, because I know you got to take more calls, is the offensive line, man. I almost wish they put the rookie out there first instead of Wiz, because you can go back to Wiz. You can't go from Wiz to the rookie. And I feel like if you're going to put him out there, that would have been the time, because the Giants' front seven is not great, but they're no slouches either. So it's enough to give you that, okay, this is what you got. This is the NFL rookie. Can you handle it or not? You can't. We're going to Wiz. But I would hate to go from him to Wiz. So from Wiz to him, I'm sorry. But that's all I got, man. Thanks.
No problem, man. And I'll let the fellas reflect on that. And I definitely agree. That's an interesting point, and I like that. I would like to maybe have seen Dotson get a shot. That is, I don't know what the coaches saw, but clearly Dotson might have to end up playing now. But I don't think I can disagree with what you said there, so I appreciate that. But what y'all got, man? Anything y'all want to reflect on?
I was thinking about that. This is a real quick one. Yeah, I could see a little zip on the ball. Especially that pass that he threw in between coverage. Remember the one? It was incomplete.
Oh yeah,
Deontay Johnson.
The one to Johnson. Yeah.
And yes, it was like right. I mean, the way he threw that, it was like It was so quick, man. It was in between two, defenders, and I thought he caught it, but it got incomplete. The guy knocked it down. But from there, you saw Ben had a nice zip on his arm, buddy.
Yeah, that Claypool pass was. I watched that again today.
Yeah,
he put that. I mean, I don't know where else he could have put that at. Perfect.
No, that was perfect. I don't think Ben is. That was the first game, so I don't think he was really super comfortable yet. I mean, it's kind of like riding a bike, but you don't really let it go till after that. You know what I mean? You kind of, so I would expect in the upcoming weeks for him to let it go. You know what I mean? As far as making the throws that. Testing his arm out to really know. You know what I mean? You can only do so much in practice. You know what I mean? So I would expect him to, see his true arm strength later on in these upcoming games. You might see a little bit more of it this week and more next week. You know what I mean? So I'm not really kind of worried about Ben as far as that goes. I think his arm is fine. I think he's okay. I think he'll get better. And typically he gets better as the season goes along anyway. So with his touch and all that stuff. And as far as Dotson goes, Dotson played.
Yeah.
After once Wisniewski went out, that's when Dotson came in the game. So
yeah, and I'm gonna have to pay attention to that too. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, Tomlin pointed this out. I don't want to cut you off. Tomlin pointed this out. He said Dotson. The only reason Dotson really didn't play because he didn't have a training camp.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that if Dotson would have had a training camp, rookie training, OTAs, he might have won that job. You know what I mean? Or he might have been the swing tackle at that point. They could have just kept Wisniewski as the backup center. But I think he'll be forced to play, even though they signed Gerald Hawkins up to practice squad today. He's not gonna unseat. They're gonna let Dotson learn, and he might get thrown in the fire a little bit earlier. He'll be the swing guy. You know what I mean? So you have to look at it like this. It's really on Choops. Choops there's no competition now. Now he has to play. So I don't think they're moving Fowler back unless Choops gets hurt. But I don't think Fowler is going to move back. I think Dotson will swing. So Dotson kind of in the same position he was before. But you might see him in spells. I think he'll just get like more snaps. And you know how we feel about Dotson. I mean, Sim loves him. So
a mauler.
So right. So if you can get him in there and he can learn everything you want to learn, I'm with it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see once I have the all 22. I'm actually going to go back and watch his play and just see how things developed when he was in there, because the run game did start picking up. So I wonder if he had anything to do with that. So I'm definitely going to pay attention to that. But appreciate the call, man. We're going to get to the other ones, and I promise, guys, first go around with all of us here, we'll keep it short, the responses as well. So, if we're going to ask y'all to be short, then we got to be short too. So next up is area code 803, and after that, looks like 3 more calls after him. So 803, what you got for us, man?
Hey, good evening. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, man.
Hello?
Great.
Okay,
Yeah, we here,
brother.
So y'all can hear me. I'm glad you guys give some great insights the games last night, and I hope for my Banner, Zach Banner, I hope he gets well, and we'll see him next year out there on the football field. I still would love Chuka Okorafor to be our left tackle. I hate to get down on Villanueva, but having a man pick you up and walk you in the backfield 15 yards is unacceptable to me. That right there just upset me.
Yeah.
Defensive speed is incredible this year. And the one thing we talked about before the season was, this year we have depth across the defensive line and in other places of the defense. When you can't get a man on the field and he's a quality player, you got a good problem, because later on during the season, he will be there when we need him. Other than that, if I ever got hit by a Denier or my man, number 98, escapes my name right now, I'll be filing a Warren Barker, because he lit them up last. Those guys would light him up.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
Thank you as well, man. We always appreciate your insight, man. Anything you guys want to shed on that?
He said it all. Me.
Yeah, he said it all. You exactly right. If Big Al gets thrown around, it's another play on that line that gets pushed around, but I'm not going to start that because we don't have enough time.
Oh, and you know what? That same player, he had a bad snap again last night. What's happening with this boy, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I like you, Pouncy, but last couple years we've been on your head, and you do be getting pushed around. Might be time, brother.
Yeah, but his push around wasn't as bad as Billy. What happened to Lil Al?
Lil Al.
Lil Billy.
Lil Al Yankovic.
That's true.
Lil
You're
Billy.
too big for that.
Billy.
You know how you say you're too old for that? You're too big for that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he's too big for that. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, look,
Man.
Come on. And this is 2 years now, bro. Because he had that one. Remember, Billy played well those first 2 years. You know what I'm saying? The first 2 he started. It's been the last 2 years you've been seeing him getting, punked. You know what I mean? By certain players. You know what I mean? And I know he was trying to block Leonard Williams over there, and I know Leonard Williams is a stud. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man. It's like,
Yeah, you got to do better than that. All right, man. Before we grab the next call, man, I want to share this this meme somebody sent me. It's pretty funny. Y'all might have seen it, but it's what's his name? What is what's Tennessee coach name? Is it Vrabel? Mike Vrabel? It's
Mike Vrabel. Yep.
It's a meme with him in the car, right? And it's like a hooker leaning in the car, and she's saying $50 for whatever you want, baby. And his reply was, "Can you kick a football?" That is hilarious, man. Even though the dude did win the game for him, bro, what a horrible game that we getting on Boswell for missing what he did last night. My goodness.
Right.
But
Man.
he might have saved his job. He won the game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. That's the Patriots' old kicker.
Yep. That's
Oh,
crazy,
That's
man.
good scouting.
Yes, it is.
That's good scouting. Yeah.
But all right, let's move on, man. We got 3 more. Area code 707. What you got for us, man?
Yo. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
All right, man. I just got one thing, man. Well, I got a couple things. All right. First and foremost, Ola Denier, I don't know how to say his last name, but bro, he looked so good on Monday. He looks. What happens with Bud Dupree? I'm excited to see if he comes in and be that next starting guy for us. If we don't decide to keep Bud Dupree. But man, Terrell Edmonds, come on, man, come on, dog. Like, I'm glad we got Marcus Allen, right? But put him on the field. Terrell Edmonds in coverage situations really just irked me. I don't know if you got to play the 3rd and 14 plays before we went on that 19-play drive. Terrell Edmonds was literally standing 2 feet away from the ball. Like, he didn't even react. I'm sitting there like, what are you watching, bro? It's right at you. He's killing me, man. Like, he's a good tackler, though. I'm going to give it to him. But I don't think he have instincts when it comes to coverage. And that's all I got, man.
Man, appreciate your call, man. Edmonds get it so bad. You fellas got anything on that? I'm gonna see if I can find the play too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm answering that one. Let me answer that.
Go ahead.
Look, I appreciate the call. I understand you have a frustration with Terrell Edmonds, but first of all, they were playing zone in that play, and I know what play he's talking about.
Yeah, I remember.
Second of all, Marcus Allen is not a safety anymore. He's a hybrid linebacker.
That's right.
That's what he's listed on in the depth chart. He's not playing safety. He's playing inside linebacker. Sean Davis, here's your options. If you think Terrell Edmonds is bad in coverage, your options are Sean Davis, and that's it.
Very true.
And I'm telling you right now, Terrell Edmonds is a better cover person than Sean Davis. And the evidence on Sean Davis is even worse. So if you want to go there, he's a strong safety. If you watch Terrell Edmonds in the box, he played very well. If you watch the game, he was blowing up plays, he was making plays. So I can't knock somebody that's making plays. You know what I mean? That's getting beat. Everybody gets beat. It's there's another team on the other side of the field. They're trying to score, so those things happen. But Terrell Edmonds didn't do anything that made me say, "Oh, okay." I don't know if it's maybe because of last year on that one play that Sim, that one play where Terrell Edmonds got beat, and Sim showed it a lot. I don't know if it's that, but it's like there's a lot of they're not satisfied with Terrell Edmonds. This is his 3rd year. After this year, you can have a nice little, you can judge him. But as far as right now, I can't say anything bad. I don't love Terrell Edmonds, but I'm just objective. I don't want to get too high or too low. So and Sim, I guess Sim's showing us now.
Oh, he over here. Who is this right here? Hold on, let me see.
That's Sutton.
That is Sutton. Yeah.
That's
all
Sutton.
right.
That's Sutton dropping back. See, look, go back, Tim. Go back on the play. Go back and do it again.
Yeah, I am.
They're in the zone. They're in the zone.
Yep. And then by the time we get to the catch point,
right?
My man sat in that zone, man. He found the hole.
Right.
Let me look at the line play.
Found the hole.
See, this was the one. Yeah, we talked about last night. We only brought 4. This was the play I was saying, y'all. That again. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Just because, we make a suggestion, it don't mean it was going to work. But I would have loved to have seen the Hilton Blitz on this play. Bring an extra guy.
Right.
Because Daniel Jones, at this point, is 3rd quarter. He already felt the heat. Don't give him no confidence. Make him – he was throwing the ball fast anyway when he didn't have time. So I would have brought at least the threat of an additional guy to eliminate this time. Because if you look at this pocket, look. See, let me go back one more time. if a lot of people will say, oh, we ain't getting no pass rush, but that's still about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, here comes Cam. You bring an extra guy, you might cut that down a second, and you might force that ball out a little sooner. And look where the ball is now. See? But again, I'm not going to tell Keith Butler how to do his job, because you could very well send that blitz, and you might get a free guy over here running. And, you know, Jones still gets it to him, and he houses it. So, you know, it's easy for us to say what the call should have been when we on the couch. It's really easy to say it.
2-minute warning.
Exactly.
We did it again, guys, but y'all like to hear us talk anyway, so let's move on to the next call. Area code 412. Sounds like a Pittsburgh number. What you got for us? 412, what you gonna do? We got to skip you for now, but we'll come back to you. Remember, if you're calling in, we can hear you in the background. Sounds like you're listening to the stream. So remember, if you call in, mute the stream. The stream is going to have a delay. You just want to, you know, listen on the phone so you can be in sync with us. When you're not on the phone, you know, after your call is done, then you go back to the stream. But y'all have to remember the way streams work. And I'm not, you know, being funny here, but everybody may or may not know this. What you're watching has a delay. It's coming from my computer to yours, but Blog Talk is going to be much faster. That's the reason why I can talk to Kenyon and Tony in real time, and y'all will hear us later. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're watching the stream and trying to talk on the phone without listening on the phone, we're not going to be in sync. So 412, we'll come back to you. The next one here is 443. I think this might be Drip, Gold Drip. What's going on, man? Hello. 443.
Hello, can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah, I got you. What's up, man?
All right, what's up? I just wanted to touch on a couple things. I saw the next gen stats of Juju's routes yesterday. I get it, you do what you have to do to, you know, win this specific game, but is Juju gonna get open against the Marcus Peters and the Marlon Humphreys and the Gilmore's doing 30 crossing routes? I don't know. And I thought it was interesting that UG3 didn't get a helmet. I mean, I know Splain is a special teams guy, but I thought that was pretty interesting. But Randy Fiedler, man, the slow starts.
Yeah.
If you slow start against Baltimore, they're gonna run the ball down your throat. I get it, good run defense, but like, come on, man, come on. I get it. We made Lamar look horrible last year in the game when it came to Pittsburgh, but still, you can't have the slow starts every single game. It's the slow starts all the time. It's the vanilla runs up the middle, and it's. I don't know if Daniel Jones was good yesterday, or if he just like took an amazing step, but he didn't like look how we normally make young quarterbacks look, if that makes sense. He looked very comfortable. He, you know, for what it was worth in going against the defense he had. He didn't have all his weapons, but are we going to be as successful against the pass, against the upper echelon quarterbacks? Like, I get it, we beat up on the bad guys, but against the Russell Wilsons and the guys like that, are we going to be as successful? I get it. The game plan was to stop the run, so we kind of, like Tomlin said in the post game, we kind of left our secondary on an island a little bit with going all out to stop the run. But it just seemed a little suspect. I get it. It's basically a preseason week 1, but it just looked a little suspect. That's what I got.
Man, appreciate the call, and I'm definitely gonna let the fellas respond there, man. I will say this about Randy really quick. It might just be his style. If you guys remember in the first quarter, and I think I texted to Tony and Kenyon while we were watching the game, there was a play. Now I can't even remember if it was a counter or if it was, I think it was a play where we send motion one way and then we run back to the left. Randy ran the same play twice in the same drive. And I was like, okay, don't start that. Don't start that already. Because it wasn't like it worked. It wasn't like we got positive yards on it. I could see if, I always use this example. I could see if it was a few years back, again, when we were at Tennessee and Le'Veon went for 206 and you hear the defense saying, it's the same play. I could see if it was like that, where we were eating. But at that time, we won't get no yards. So I'm like, Randy, you already back to that? Unless he saw a matchup that he liked, so I will be fair and say, look, the coaches have scouted. Maybe they saw a lineup. Maybe Ben checked to the play. I don't know. But I didn't like seeing that either. So, yeah, I agree with you with the slow starts. But, fellas, man, if y'all want to reflect on everything, anything else he mentioned?
I would just say real quick is that I can see, if you look at just what he was bringing out about Juju, I think he would have pretty good success. I mean, everybody's down on Juju. I think Juju is a pretty good receiver. Again, like Kenyon has always been talking about. I mean, you see the difference between him having a Ben and Duck Hodges. It's a totally different quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we better pay attention also. They might eventually stop. They whoever player getting ready to have some problems, then you have to deal with Deontay Johnson, because you see a lot of back shoulder throws, and he's selling. He is looking like a vet, almost selling the routes to make it look like he's going deep in the back shoulder throw, and he's coming back to it. So a lot of teams better start taking notes to that.
The Pittsburgh offense usually just run. They usually just take what you give them. So Juju is always in the slot, so he runs a lot of underneath routes and all that stuff. But you can put him on the outside. He played more outside last year because of the quarterback issues.
Right.
But
That's right.
But I think you'll see Claypool on the outside sometimes, and sometimes you'll see him on the inside. But Juju, Marcus Peters can't cover Juju. He's already toasted him before. I don't know what games. Do you remember those games? He's already done that. Look, he was toasting Jalen Ramsey. Who's the better corner, Ramsey or Peters?
Yep.
And Booyah.
Yep.
In the same game, he
and
lost them.
And AJ in the same game. So, my thing is, look, I'm different. I guess Sim and I'm just different. I look at players and I watch games and I watch matchups and I see what they do usually against certain matchups, and I kind of chart it in my head for future references. I've always been that way, but it's look. Juju can get off press coverage. He's fast enough to beat you.
Yeah.
He's just not. He's what Juju is. He's just truly not a dynamic receiver. He's like I said when he came out. He's like Anquan Bolden, big guy, hard to cover, underneath, excellent in the slot, and he's a different type of number one / whatever. Deontay Johnson is a dynamic guy. The person you should worry about getting off press against certain people would be Deontay against Marcus Peters. Deontay against Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
Because he might not be strong enough.
Right.
That's who you should worry about. You don't worry about Juju. Juju be all right with Ben.
Right.
So, my thoughts on Juju is I agree with Sim. I think he'll have a bounce back year. And this is a big year because of what they need to do. Is Juju's contract year. So, and it's going to be, and this would really dictate what the Steelers would do in the future. I have a feeling what they'll do, but this would dictate. And as Sim said, and we talked about before the season, it's really going to come down to Juju and Connor, who they are going to pay. I'm just saying. So I'm cool with Juju. You know what I mean? And he plays hurt, and he's a team guy. He's not about himself. So, I'm cool with it. But I would just say that I'm not worried.
2-minute warning.
Because first of all, Marcus Peters is a gambler. So that's why he got traded the first time. That's why he got traded the second time. Because he's a gambler. Sometimes he gambles and he puts himself in bad positions. So
also he brought up about, sorry to cut you off, King. He also brought up about our defense. When we have to start playing, usually traditionally, how Dick LeBeau always gave rookie quarterbacks a tough time to go. And from the perspective of what I'm looking at, is like a lot of these quarterbacks today are, starting to grow up a little bit more quicker than they did back in those days. So, I mean, that guy was pretty, he was, pretty poised with all that heat coming his way. So I guess, I didn't want to leave that out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm laughing, guys. Three small little announcements. One, you guys saw me showing that play there. I was wrong. It wasn't the same drive. It was the next drive. But y'all saw what I was saying. ironically, the first play, you saw we actually did have the numbers. You know, McDonald didn't hold his block, and in the backside, I think that might have been either the tackle or the end came down, made a good defensive play. But again, I just hate when we get so like there was no changing up of that play. It was just like, all right, let's try it again. That early? But it's all good. The other thing I wanted to say is John Gotti, let's not do that. You know, it's cool for you and Kenyon to disagree, but you know, and this goes to everybody. Let's not do all of the you're not the football guy. We don't need none of that here. Let's have adult conversations. Y'all can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want anybody, even us on the panel. And if I ever get to the point where y'all hear me going at somebody, y'all check me. We don't need that. Like, leave that alone. All right? You know, Kenyon has his opinion, you have yours. So just as much as you say that he's not the football god, he might say that about you. So just agree to disagree and let's move on. The other last thing I wanted to say, man, was we'll take the last call here. Area code 412. And then we'll read a few chats. And there you have it. That should be the show. All right, 412. Hopefully you in sync with us this time, man. What you got for us? You there?
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
There you go. What's up, man? Yeah, we got you.
Okay, how you doing, Sam? And fellas, I just wanted to say, the defense looked great last night, and one of the big problems I still see with the Steelers is we need a running back. It's gonna have to be Snell because Connor ain't hitting it. He keep on getting hurt. So I just wanted to end that on that. Y'all have a good one, fellas.
Man, appreciate the call. You have a good one as well. Hey, fair point, man. And I'll throw it to the guys. Clearly, I will say this. Let me get my opinion on Snell because y'all know me and Leonard. You know, when we watch football together, it's always funny because Leonard is a tough critic. Leonard, you know, he want the team. He want everybody to be superstars, and I ain't mad at him. So early in the game, you know, we kind of debating about Snell. He's like, man, we don't have this type of back. I said, I agree with you, Leonard, but that ain't taken away from Snell. Snell, all right. And then as Snell started doing his thing, I said, see what I was saying? But I will say this. I like what the Steelers, what it seemed like we came into the game to do and mix it up. And even Tomlin has said earlier that he wanted to have a kind of a carousel. If we're going to do that, then yeah, man, we're going to need a third piece because I think clearly Snell is going to, you know, cement his spot. We'll see what McFarland has if he can step up. Jalen Samuels, I know they say that, you know, he's a utility knife. We all know that, but also he's good at, you know, pass pro. That's going to be one thing we got to see out of McFarland. But clearly going into next season, you know, I hate to say it, but Connor's probably going to have to go, and we probably have to, you know, draft another running back, you know, because it seems like we do like to have a decent amount. And I don't know if Jalen Samuels sticks. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, Jalen Samuels might have just made it by the, you know, the skin of his teeth this time because, you know, Smallwood, had he not got injured, maybe you swap that situation. Maybe he makes the team instead of being on the practice squad. So, but what y'all think, man? And I know we've talked about it already, but anything else y'all want to add about the running back group? Hello.
I think we have. I think we have running backs. I don't know. I don't think we need a running back. I think we have them. I think we got two. I think we got three actually. I mean, they drafted a running back the last 3 years, or three out of the last 4 years. So Benny Snell looks like he can tote the rock 20 times a game, the touches. McFarland can be special if he can, you know, once he gets integrated into the system. Jalen Samuels, now that's the question mark. He's a question mark. I don't know if he will last. Connor, I think Connor's gone. They may draft a running back next year for depth, but I don't think it's going to be. Yep. I think they may just give the reins over to Snell. I think Tomlin likes Snell.
I think so too.
So
yeah,
it's kind of one of those things. I don't really get caught up into if he's a. I just think the future may be Snell, and then you kind of, it's gonna be like a thunder and lightning. You have Snell, and then you bring in McFarland for that little speed burst if you need it, because that's what McFarland has. McFarland has game breaking speed. So at least that's what we've seen on tape. So that's how I look at it. Jalen Samuels, they love Jalen Samuels. I don't know why, but to me, he's really only had one good game since he's been in Pittsburgh, and that was the Patriots game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they kind of used him. You know what I mean? He kind of showed, and that's pretty much it. And I think the only reason McFarland doesn't play yet is because he may not be good in pass pro, which is really the quickest way you get on the field.
Yeah. Agree.
So, yeah.
There
Agree.
you have it.
That's how I feel about that.
Well, let's read a few chats, man, and I'm going to start with this one. Y'all know y'all have freedom of speech here, but at the same time, I try to create a certain culture on this channel, especially with the Steelers stuff. So it's going to be one warning. And, you can take that for what it is. I don't think I'm this and that or anybody like that, but at the same time, integrity and, character and all that means more to me than just a sub, right? So I'm going to read your comment here just so everyone knows I did it in public. And this is your only warning. So after I said what I said about John Gotti, he comes back and he says, "You still talking like I don't know you. Be on his channel and he talk about you. I'm not your fan. I won't kiss butt. I want, what he says, I have my opinion and I can pull video of Edmonds getting beat a lot." I'm a little confused because I don't know who you are actually talking to about somebody being on somebody's channel and they talk about them. I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if that's for Kenyon. But again,
I think it might be for me.
It may be. So I'm going to say it one more time. Look, I don't know you personally, nothing like that, but that's not the culture that we try to build here, man, with the Steelers. This podcast is for like minds. We can agree, we can disagree, we can debate. But the personal attacks and all that, and some people might say, "Oh, that ain't a lot," but I'm saying, you talking about you're not a fan of, like, why are we doing that? You don't have to do all of that. So if it continues, I will kindly block you from the channel, and that'll be that. I have no shame in saying it, and I think that's fair. Keep it cordial, man. Disagree, but keep it cordial. That's all I ask. All right, man, let's get into some of the chat, man. Lanisha says, in her opinion, I think she's talking to Real Facts. She says, "Rel, in my opinion, they need to let Snell play more." Speaking of Real Facts, let's read his comment really quick before the applause rings off. He said, thanks for the donation, by the way. He says, "Don't want to throw salt on the old wound, but imagine throwing away a Hall of Fame career with the Steelers to play with the Jets." Shaking my head at Bell. Yeah, that is crazy. Let's see. The next one. There's a question from Jordan Mid, so I'll let Tony and Kenyon answer it. He says, the question is, why is he even here? Oh, okay, he's talking about John Gotti, but yeah, exactly. Let's read another one here, fellas. He says, Adrian Holguin, but I don't remember Bell bringing a lot of drama other than music and a questionable off the field behavior or decisions, which it seems he's grown from. Yeah, I can agree with that. And you guys jump in, man, and whenever you want. You're just hearing me read, so if y'all have something to add to any of these comments, please jump in.
I just make comment. Look, I have no issues with nobody. Look, you can attack me because I'm built for that stuff. But I understand what Sim is talking about. We try to keep everything cordial. You just had a disagreement about Edmonds, and he said Edmonds was trash. All I replied was, I don't call anybody trash because they're doing something that we can't do, that we're not doing actually right now.
That's true.
And you can not like a player, and you could say you want him gone and all that stuff, but I'm not calling him trash. I'm not saying he's garbage, because unless I can go out there and do what he can do better than him, then what if he's trash? What does that make you if you're playing the same sport and you can't beat him at a sport? If he's trash, what are you in that scenario? I'm just saying. So I just try to tell the truth with certain players. I don't have a liking for Edmonds, and Sim will tell you, I wasn't high on Edmonds when he came out.
Nah.
That was early when we were doing it. So I wasn't high on Edmonds.
I would have took Bates.
Exactly. So I've never been high on Edmonds. I just look at it for what it is. He's a young player. He's in his third year. You have to let him grow, and you have to remember he did have to start earlier than Tomlin wanted to put him in the game. Do you remember that? Sean Davis got hurt. I'm just saying. So, if you're gonna do that, I just want to keep it on some football stuff. But personal attacks to me don't do anything for me. I'm built that way. I've always been built that way. So, I can't get frazzled over somebody on the screen. That's the best way I can put it. So, but other than that, that's all I care about that.
Yay! Round of applause, guys. I'm applauding to his current comment. Everybody put clap emojis in the chat for him. That's the way to be a big boy. We appreciate that. Again, man, I never understand. I never understand why people just can't. Again, what I do and my opinions don't shape the world. But one thing I would never understand, because you even see this in the Madden community, right? Why is it so serious? Why people get so serious with certain things? These are opinions. You know what I'm saying? None of us are NFL players. It's just an opinion. Like, it seems like people take things personal. That's hilarious to me, but appreciate you rolling out. Thanks. No problem. What was you gonna say, Tony? You had something?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about Bill, because that right there is not even worth my time, man. I mean, Look, man, we love the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. We like a family, man. I believe if all of us were together, man, we be rooting for our team, happy and everything. We just getting along, man. It's not serious. But anyway, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know you guys probably feel the same way. I mean, I didn't like the way Bill handled it and handled the things that he handled. But man, come on now, you gonna try to tell me that you don't miss that Bill? Oh my goodness,
man.
that Bill cast. Wow.
Man.
I mean, him lining up at the line of scrimmage, and they had to worry about Bill out there as a wide receiver. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, I miss him.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I miss him. I do.
Yeah.
I can't lie, man.
I think that decision is one of those decisions that, you have to look at it. I mean, I understand what Bill was trying to do as far as business goes. It was just the way he went about it, I think, rubbed people the wrong way. I don't think he has ill will in the Steelers organization, though. I really don't. I think they're still cool with him. Right. I just think that he didn't go out like AB, where I don't know if AB is going to get invited back to, the Steelers Ring of Honor anytime soon. You know what I mean? I don't think that's going to happen. So as far as his career now, I mean, you send him he goes to the Jets, and it's just like, part of me feels bad for him because he's in a situation where he can't succeed because he has a coach that shouldn't. Yeah, I said he shouldn't really be a coach. I mean, I mean, how you go from getting fired from the Miami Dolphins to getting the Jets job? Like, I don't know. I know what it is. I'm just not gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But we all know what it is. I just think Bell was one of those players that he probably should have retired as a Steeler, or at least played here at least about 8-9 years. You know what I mean? Like 10 years at least. And yeah, do we miss him? Yeah, because it was just a perfect fit. And sometimes you draft people, and I don't even think the person that's getting drafted understands it, but it's just a perfect fit. You know what I mean? Like he was the perfect running back for Pittsburgh. He just was. You know what I mean? He was perfect.
King, he was a lotto stud, man. And I mean, yeah, you remember them? Remember the runs running over Fitzpatrick? Oh my goodness, with the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh my goodness, man, juking people out in the shoes. cutting in the middle. Oh my goodness, catching the ball out of the backfield. Man, he was a stud, man.
Man,
I mean, he changed the game. That's the one thing you can say. He changed the game.
Me and Leonard,
those players that when you look back in history, yeah, he changed the game.
we was at that game. Me and Leonard, when the stiff arm, we was at that one. I remember that.
Oh,
him and David Johnson were one of the two best running backs in the league at that time.
Yep. I remember me and Sim. I was having a debate with Sim on who we should take, David Johnson or Le'Veon Bell. I remember I was like, I like David Johnson because he could do the same things Bell could do, but he was like a little bit faster. And then Arizona snatched him up. Remember, Arizona got him first.
Yep.
Arizona, picked up David Johnson, and Bell was the only thing Bell didn't have was home run speed. That's the only thing you never saw out of Bell, but everything else he could do. So he was a perfect back. I mean, Ben loved him, man. I think he was just, he made Pouncey look good. He made the offensive line look good. The way they blocked, it just, he was just so dynamic in what he did, and I kind of feel sorry for him that he's with the Jets, and now he's injured, and he's in a dumpster fire. It's kind of weird. Part of me kind of wants them to release him, and then we just pick him back up, but knowing the Jets, they won't do that. So
yeah, man. When he was healthy, man, you can't say you don't miss him. I know he had some injury history, but wow. But man, I got a question in the chat, guys, for y'all. And I'm gonna be honest. My answer to this question is to be totally transparent. I really didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But Spencer Otto says, "What are your thoughts on Fowler and Herbstreit calling the game yesterday?" I really didn't pay much attention to them, me personally. But what you guys think?
Yeah, I go ahead, Keith. I mean, I was gonna be short and sweet. I apologize for
Go.
I didn't pay attention to it either. And a few times they, and that's easy for them to mess the names up. Sometimes they say the wrong person's name.
I did catch that. They were saying some wild stuff, man. Your boy Fowler was way off with some of them names. I was like, come on now.
Herbstreit was too.
Yeah.
Herbstreit was too.
Oh, it might have been Herbstreit. Yeah, it might have been him.
James Washington, Nate Washington.
Yeah.
Nate Washington.
He called him Nate Washington.
Nate Washington. I said, my goodness, how far back you went, brother? Man.
It's like, wow.
Nate Washington.
Last time he called a Steelers game was when? So, yeah, I mean, I don't have no, I mean, I understand what ESPN, look, I was just happy football was back.
That's all.
So in a lot of ways, I kind of didn't really care who was announcing the game, but you could tell that this is how it is. They're perfect for college. It would take them a minute to get good for pro. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're not a natural. They're not like watching Tony Romo is like going to class when you watch.
Oh
games
man, that's my guy.
You know what I mean? Because he just tells you stuff that's going down before it's going to go down. Watching Gruden back in the day was just perfect because Gruden was so animated. You know what I mean? So I think they did okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad enough where I pointed out like I don't ever want to see them do that again. And I don't know how ESPN is going to rock because they always do that beginning of the season with the 2 games. So there's always going to be the initial crew because I think the real Monday Night crew was doing the Denver game. Yeah, it was Greasy, Louis Riddick, and I forget the guy that was but they were doing the initial.
It's I can see his face too because he's not usually the football dude. Oh man, what's his name, man? Oh, I don't know why I can't remember his name. Somebody in the chat help us out.
Can't think of his name.
We all know who he
is.
is.
His name. Yeah.
I love Louis Riddick though. I'm glad to see him get a little more shine, man, on the big stage. I like Louis Riddick a lot.
I love Louis Riddick. I think he's the best. I think he's the best analyst on ESPN as far as football goes because he's the one that's like real.
Joe Tessitore?
Nah, Tessitore was last year.
That was last year. Okay.
Oh, what's this
Tessitore,
dude's
the guy
name, man?
They got rid of Tessitore.
Everybody knows him. Because he be on ESPN all the time, but I cannot recall this dude's name now.
Yeah, Kevin Sports says Chris Fowler. No, Chris Fowler did the first game. We were talking about the Denver game. The Monday night crew for the Denver game was Greasy.
That's it.
Yeah, that was Levy.
Steve Levy. Yeah, Levy. That's who it is.
Yeah. So, it didn't bother me. I mean, I was just happy. I was just happy football's back, man. I kind of didn't care unless they were just horrible. But look, Madden got bad. Madden franchise mode has bad announcers. I'm just saying.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Don't get me started, man.
You know what? I do miss sometimes the John Gruden. That guy had some. He said, "I like that guy. That guy eats steaks and potatoes for breakfast."
Yeah, man.
I miss Gruden. I miss Gruden, old boy that he gave the GM job to. That did the NFL draft.
He was good. He a Pittsburgh dude too. Mayock. Yeah.
Mayock. Man, I miss those guys, man. They were so great. It's just but when you get those jobs, like I don't think Louis Riddick's gonna be doing that job for a long time. Like I think he's gonna get a GM job again because his football knowledge is like crazy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I can see somebody snatching him again. You know what I mean? But I was just happy we had games, man. I didn't care, because I know they're not gonna do it again. And you know what? Fowler and Hershey are great in college. That's the beauty of them. They're great when it comes to college football. So
yeah, Tirico pretty good too.
Yeah, Tirico ain't bad, man. He's not
MVP,
bad.
So
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's an MVP. That's right.
But we got one last question before we get to it, and we'll close it with that, guys, because we literally only got 5 minutes even left on Blog Talk. Before I get to it, let me just say my favorite announcers group right now. I would say by default because he's with Tony Romo. I like Romo and is it Nance?
Nance. Yeah.
Romo is that dude. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what y'all want. That is that dude with announcing. I also like I know somebody in here said they don't like his voice, Joe Buck, but I like him and Aikman together. And I actually like Collinsworth and Michaels. I like Collinsworth, man. He gives it up too.
Yeah.
So those are my top
Al
three
Michaels
right there.
Al Michaels is good with anybody though.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can't. I don't know if you compare Al Michaels with anybody bad. I think Al Michaels is great with anybody. Collinsworth is. You just get used to those guys. Collinsworth, Michaels. I'm with you on Romo. I just think he's the best analyst that's doing football games now. I don't think it's close.
Romo ain't fair, man.
He's the only one that's Romo don't play.
That dude literally calls the play. Like he did it Sunday. He was like, "Oh, this is about to happen." I mean, he literally calls the play and who they going to. I'm like, bruh.
Yep.
This dude, and I got to throw a wisecrack in there. If you that good, what happened when you was on the field? But they should have won way more games if you know that football that well. But I get it. In the heat of the moment, man, it's easy to say when you sitting in the booth. But last question of the night, guys. Where is it? I gotta find it. Marcus Jones. He had a question. I remember it. Even if I don't find it, he basically said, "Why do you think the Steelers brought back Josh Dobbs and put Duck Hodges on the bench?" My quick answer would be, watch last year. Just go watch Duck Hodges play the latter part of the season. And Dobbs know the system. That's an easy swap. If you weren't gonna spend any money on another quarterback, even though some people thought we would, it's an easy situation to go back and get the guy that you traded for to be your number 3. Because whether y'all believe it or not, Mason Rudolph is the number 2. And you just stick Duck Hodges there because he has a little experience in case it comes to that. That's all. That's all I got. What y'all think?
I agree with you. You also, and I'm hoping I'm not saying the same thing. I got to throw a little crack in there. They had to let Shazier Brothers come on the team, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But
Oh man, go ahead, man. You crazy,
That's
man.
funny.
Yeah, but but yeah, you're exactly right. He knows it. He knows the playbook. I mean, and the thing about it is he also can move around. If you look, I mean, he's not that accurate, but if you can just have a quarterback that can that knows the team, I mean, it was an easy swap, like you said. So
yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Steelers like people that's familiar with their system. They drafted him, so they would know more about him. He does offer you a dynamic that Hodges doesn't have, which is he can run. Duck Hodges, while he was a media darling in the beginning, I always tell people, fans always like that underdog third quarterback, and want to see that quarterback play until he plays a couple of games. And then you see why he's the third quarterback. You know what I mean? Why he got cut. And then at that moment it's like, wow, okay, now we need to know. That's the point. That's why he's the third quarterback.
Well,
because he has flaws in his game.
90 seconds.
You saw the flaws in Duck Hodges, and you saw how Randy Figner really didn't trust him, or trust him or Mason after a certain amount of time. You see how the playbook got simplified. We'll just run it, and if we lose, it is keep the score 10-3 or something like that. You know what I mean? And we could just win by a field goal or something. So, I like Duck. He was good for that one game at spot duty, but
60 seconds.
I think Dobbs is better than him, but our future quarterback is not on the roster. That's just a fact. So.
No doubt. And we about to get cut off, guys, because Blog Talk has already said 60 seconds. We down to 45 now. So before it cuts Tony and Kenyon off, I'm going to thank them for coming on, man. And, we'll try to get more of these roundtables happening throughout the season for real important things. So thank you, brothers, for coming by. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and clip y'all off really quick so it doesn't cut you off so you're not being hung up on.
All right.
But again, guys, we appreciate everybody coming through tonight. Let me close out Blog Talk, and I'll just give you guys 2 minutes to just do my sign off. Again, thank you to my good brothers Tony and Kenyon, and we like to call ourselves the Steel Table. And I don't know why it's still going here. Hold on, guys. I thought I closed it out. She just talked about 10 seconds. All right, there we go. We like to call ourselves the Steel Table when we get together for a round table. So there you have it. But again, thanks for everybody for coming out. I can't promise. Let me say this. This is why I can't always promise when I'm going to do a third show, because now I have a surprise visit tomorrow. My big brother's coming through, spend a day or two with us. So, I'm not going to step away and do a podcast tomorrow night. But if I can, man, I still plan on doing the pregame show. We'll say Friday or Saturday. In that show, we'll show a little bit of the footage, maybe a play or two out of the all 22 to talk about, and then we'll talk about the upcoming opponent. And there you have it. So you guys will see me again Friday or Saturday. I can't give you a time right now because I got to work out the schedule. But if you don't catch it live, you'll catch the replay. Other than that, appreciate everybody for donating tonight. You guys always know if you want to do that on YouTube, you click the $, have at it, boom. If not, you prefer outside of YouTube, there's Cash App, there's PayPal. Those options are available as well, and the link is in the description. Thank you in advance. Other than that, hope everyone has a great week. If you're into basketball, there's a good one that just got underway. What them Clippers gonna do, man? What they gonna do? You was up 3-1, and are we looking at another situation of OKC versus Golden State a few years back? I don't know. And if Denver beats the Clippers, do they beat the Lakers? I don't know. So if you into that, man, check out that Game 7 that's on right now. I heard that Miami and Boston was in overtime with 12 seconds left. I don't know who won that. It's probably over now. But just enjoy sports, man. Watch Thursday night football. We get to see some division foes play. So let's check them out. Cleveland and the Bengals. And there you have it. But everybody be safe. For all of you guys that are in a situation like me and you're managing working from home and doing you're managing the virtual school for your first grader, God bless you, because I'm making it happen. So best of luck to all of y'all that are doing that. But outside of that, again, man, stay safe. God bless. Thanks for coming through. And I'll catch you next time on Terrible Towel Tuesday, but I will see you again on the pregame show and the postgame show for next week. Y'all be good. Peace.